Welcome, everyone. I'm going to hold here for a moment so everybody can find us before I get started. If you're out there, you can make a comment. Let me know where you're from, if you can hear me okay, if you can see the screen okay, so I know that everything's working. All right, let's see what we have here. Oh, got a couple people. All right, I'm going to put the camera on and welcome you. Here we go. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Janome's Holiday Open House. I'm Anne Hein, Embroidery Software Specialist, and today we're talking about book corners. Actually, they put it up as bookmarks. It's a bookmark, it's a book corner, and I'll show you a bit of that in just a moment. I created the design in Artistic Digitizer, and then I saved it and I brought it up in my machine, transferred it to Embroidery Link to show you how to add things to a ready-made embroidery design. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to walk you through how to do all of that. You can get all this information from your local Janome dealer. They will have the embroidery design and the information on how to do the bookmark as well. So be sure to check in with them for that design. And those of you who have Artistic Digitizer, I know you could probably figure this out yourself. It's a fairly simple project, an in the hoop little project that we're doing today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my camera on over here so we can see our countdown tree, and I'll talk about that for just a moment. And here we go. So there we have it. Our little ginger pink is there with my countdown tree. This is what we did previous year. We made the parts of the tree, and my tree keeps growing every day till it gets full size, and then it'll start having ornaments as well. So these are what the book corners look like. Here they are, and they fit on the corner of your, like that. And I'm going to show you an example of how they're in there. Let me see if I can bring it closer to my camera. There we go. And this one, you don't have to do them in holiday fabric. You can do them in any fabric that you like. So I'll be showing you how to stitch it out, and also how to add your own graphic to it. If you want to add a name, or if you want to add a little embroidery, you can do that as well. And I'm going to show you how to do that in Embroidery Link. It's very easy. If you don't have Embroidery Link, you can also bring this into other software and add in your name or something in the stitch out. Or as some people do, they add it in their machine, and it sits at the bottom, and so they know where to stick it in before they get to the end of their design. So let me go back here and see a few things. All right, so welcome. Oh, Danielle's there. Welcome, Danielle and Wanda, and June, and Kay is there. Sunny. Oh, Surrey, BC. Yeah, we have a very dreary day here today. I was trying to figure out my lighting. It was very weird. So, all right, so why don't we get started? I am doing this in Embroidery Link, though it can be done in other ways too. So if you have a different machine, that's fine. And sitting behind me there is my beautiful CM17, which I love. And you can kind of see sticking up at the top right there is the new thread stand. And I talked about that yesterday. Just to let you know, next Saturday, we're going to have one more holiday open house at 11 a.m. And then the following Saturday after that, we'll have one more. And I think next week, if Danielle will let me know for sure, I think it's Tracy, and she has a special project. And then our last one will be with Jerry Granata. So you can find the schedule right here on our Facebook page. You'll see the whole schedule of who's doing what and when. And if you should miss any of them, they're always saved to the page, so you'll be able to find them at this time. And I'll say it again in case people just popped in. The directions for this and the embroidery design can be found with your Janome dealer, the USA dealers. And I apologize for those of you who are outside the area, but we shared it with our Janome dealers, and I can see about the other part. I don't know what's the deal on the other part, so we'll just have to check on that. But here we go. So I'm going to go over to the my iPad and show you how to manipulate this design to add in any of your graphics or anything like that. So here we go. So when you open up your embroidery link and you touch designs and you are connected to your CM17, I have mine right here, there we go. You can see your design, you can see what's there. And right now, I'm trying to think, I think I have something in USB 1. I'll be able to find that design. So when I open USB 1, there it is. So you can download the design from your dealer. They can email it to you. You could bring it in that way, or you can put it on a USB, put it in your machine, and then I can see it right there. So everything on the screen that you see is in USB 1 right now. And I'm just going to pick my corner design right there. I'm going to close that window and I'm going to select Edit Design. If you have comments, be sure to post them or questions. I'll be checking from time to time. Now, things on this app, like many things on an iPad or iPhone, you use your fingers to enlarge or whatever. And this design has all the parts up here on what's called the clothesline. And I'm going to touch the parts and they'll highlight. So let me go between them. So that would be one part of it. Here's another part of it. We have the decorative stitches, another section, and the final part of that one. And then we start the top one. So it would be our placement. We would have a tack down. Here's our decorative stitches here. And then our tack down for the backing, and then our satin stitch to finalize it. And I'll show you the order of the stitch out once we get done with adding things into this design. So just so you know, things on the clothesline, they snap off and snap back on. All right. So you could, move something like this, and then I'm going to show you. Let's see, I put that at the end. And you can kind of see it's sticking up. I'll zoom in. You can see how the turquoise is on top of my satin stitch because it's stitched last. So that's not where I want it. So I'm just going to pull this back just to show you that you can move things around on here. And you can see some thread under there, but that is part of the underlay, the other part of the stitch when we do our backing. So it doesn't really show when you get going. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a name to one of these. And to do that, at the bottom, you'll see the T. And when you open that up, you have all these fonts to choose from. There are 12 different fonts, and you can pick any one that you like. And in your text box, just touch in there. You'll get your typing. So you can type in, I'm just going to type in this. And then I'm going to say done, so it goes away. And I want to put this on a line. So when you're looking at your tools here, you have your sizing, and then you have this little eye. That opens up. I could arc it. I could put it on a line if I wanted, whatever I want to do. But I did it on a line, and you just drag these pointers around like this. And I need to put it sort of upside down right here. And you align it where you want it. If you need it to be bigger, go back and touch the finger, that's the select, and you can use your arrow keys here if you want to make it a little bigger. And even if you want to move it around a little bit, you can move it around that way. So you very well could arc it. You could add other embroidery to it, anything you like at this point. You could even change the color out of it. If you don't like the color, you could even change the color. All right, so now what I need to do is I do need to move it because you can see up here, it's at the very end of my clothesline. And that's not where I want it. I do want it to stitch before my decorative stitches, which are right here. I'm going to wiggle there. So I'm going to pull this off. And if you have your sound up on your iPad when you do this or your tablet, it will make a little noise as it comes off there, which I think is hilariously funny. But when I pull this down, you can see it puts a little blue line where I want to put it. So I can see, where would I want to put this? So I do want to put it here, and I'm going to go through and tell you why. This this first one is our placement. Then we would put fabric over that. Then our second one is the tack down, and then we would trim our fabric. And then it would do our, let me double check, because you can put your name either before the outline or after. And I just wanted to see, I had my little instruction sheet here, but you have a little bit of an option whether you put it before you do these decorative stitches or after. So you could put it after that, which I kind of like it after there, because this holds all that down, and then you would put your name in there. This next one is you would put your fabric to the back, that tacks down the back, and this is your satin stitch. So we could go into slow redraw here, and we can see that, and I'll make this go a little faster. Here's our placement line. Then I would put my fabric. It's going to tack my fabric, and then I will trim my fabric. Now it's going to do those decorative stitches, and you can let it do the name. And once the name is done, you're going to take your hoop off the machine, carefully turn it over, and apply the backing piece. So here's where you take it off, and then it's going to stitch the backing on, and then the satin stitch. And you would, when it stops between the backing tack on and the satin stitch, that is where you would add your, cut your fabric. So we will go back to this so you can see that. Now, once I'm ready, I can send it to my machine and pick it up over there if I'm ready to send to the machine at this time. And I could go over here and I could save it. I'm going to save this one as a B. And I think it went over there, unless oh, there it is. Close that and save it. So now it's over here. I think it's in my, here it is. Oh, somewhere in here. Somewhere I saved it on a different folder. That's what I did. Did it go under? I didn't even look when I was doing it. This is where you have to look to see where you've placed it. Let's see. Well, it's in here somewhere. So you would just come in here, select it, and then you could send it. It's going to say down here, send to machine. Then you would send to your machine. All right, let me see if I have any questions, and then I'm going to move over to the machine. Mandy's asking, do you have to have a certain speed of internet for the machine to work? I don't know if it's a speed or more of a good signal. One of the things you need to check on your machine in the set mode that you are connected and that you do have an IP address. And in the DCHP, you have numbers in there as well, not zeros. The machine itself likes the 2.4 gigahertz. So maybe that's the speed. I'm sorry, I'm not that technical with some of this. So that's that part. But I know my machine doesn't like the 5.0. It likes to be connected to the 2.4 that I have here. All right, so let's go to the machine. We've seen all this. I'm going to move my camera, and give me a moment for that because I have to adjust a few things. And I have some setups here for you, and I'm going to change my lighting here so you can see this. There we go. So you can see this better. All right. So you would hoop your stabilizer, and it would stitch this first part right here. Let me get my camera in closer if I can do that. Let's see. It's maybe I'll do that, and then see if I can zoom a bit. Some days it likes to zoom for me, and other days it doesn't. Yep, we're not zooming. Oh, there we go. So you can see here I have my placement line. Okay, and then I would take my fabric. I'm going to move a few things because we need to get in here closer. I apologize. Let me get this in this way and turn my camera up. Here we go. Thank you for your patience as I get this realigned. Okay, so here it would be in your hoop like this. Let's pretend it's in my hoop. And I'll slide this other stuff out of the way so it doesn't get in our way. So there we are. And once I get this, this is my placement, I would take my triangle, and this is a 5-inch square. I definitely press this edge because you'll see why when I move along, that it's nice and flat when you go to stitch this down. So you would align this right up alongside that stitch. You don't want to put it way over. You want to align it with the placement line right there. And then the next thing your machine is going to do is the tack down. So this one shows that it's tacked down. And this is where you would take your applique scissors. You're going to keep everything still in the hoop, and you could turn your hoop. You're going to put your applique scissors under here, and you're going to carefully trim close to those stitches. Okay, like this, to get those out of the way. That extra fabric, there we go. And you would trim the other one. Once it's all trimmed, you would start your machine, and it's going to stitch and this is why you want to have a pressed one. See how this is bubbling a little bit? A pressed one wouldn't do that. It's going to stitch your decorative stitches, then it will stitch your embroidery. Once that's done, you carefully flip your hoop over. This is why I left this in the hoop to show you. You carefully flip that hoop over, take your backing piece, there's the fold, again, nice and pressed, and you align it just to the, don't put it over those, just put it to the edge. You'll see why in a moment. And tape it down. I put the tape over in this area because it's going to stitch it down here. The next one is the tack down. It'll tack down that part. Then it'll come back and do, you'll trim your back piece. You'll trim it. And then it'll apply that zigzag at the end, this nice satin stitch. So what you have, the reason you don't want to put this piece too close is you want to have this open part so that you can have a book corner. And I'll show you how they work in just a moment. Let's see here, pull some through. You want to do a wash away or a clean tear away. There are some clean tear away. So here's our samples here. But here is my manual for my CM17, and right here you can see I've put it in there. We can pop this back and it just slides in on the page, and there's the back side. So you can make a ton of these and put them in people's stockings. You can make them different colors. You can make them seasonal. Maybe you can add something that the person likes, that they read, something that they read a lot. Maybe they're a Harry Potter person and there's a Harry Potter design you could find. There's a lot of things that you could do with the corners. You could do them plain like I did here. This is a plain one. You don't have to add embroidery if you don't want to, but that's all up to you. But remember, when putting that back piece on, you do want to leave a little area right there. So let me go back to the other view and I'll check all my comments to see what's going on. I've got to move some things out of my chair. And then I'll put the camera on. Here we go. Flip around here. And we'll go here. All right, so let me check my comments here. And Judy's asking, can she watch this at a different time? Yes, you can. All the videos that we do, all of them that we've done over the last almost 3 years, something like that. 2 years? Is it 2 years? 2020? Something like that. Are saved to the Janome sewing machine page under videos. So you'll find them there. So no problem with that. Certain speed of internet. Jackie almost missed me. Okay, I think we have all the questions. So it's not that hard of a project. And even if you were going to create it yourself in Artistic Digitizer, you would start with a triangle and as your placement line. So that's how it works. And any questions on that last little part? Hopefully you'll make a couple of these. Go see your Janome dealer to see what for the information and the design. You can also check out what they have on special at this time of season. I thank you for joining me today on our holiday open house. Did you catch last week with Kimberly Imo? She had a great one as well. Okay. Well, I will let everybody go. I'm sure we have some craft fairs to go to, or maybe we're having a little bit of a late breakfast or another cup of coffee. All right. Enjoy, everyone. Have a happy holiday season, and I'll see you again next week over here on the Janome Sewing Machine page. Thank you, everyone. Bye for now.